wanted to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
We go to bed about 10 to 11.
Yep, that's right. My almost 80-year-old mother goes to bed at almost 11 o'clock at night, and I go to bed between 8:30. No joke. All right, so I know what you probably are thinking. How do I possibly manage to go to bed at around 8 o'clock? And most importantly, why? Listen, I wanted to be able to share what's worked for me and why I honestly feel that it's been crucial at helping me overcome brutal exhaustion, or in other words, adrenal fatigue. Which, listen, if you want to learn the exact tools that I use, then I urge you to grab my free adrenal fatigue repair kit, where I'm going to help you learn how to get your energy back in, no joke, as little as 7 days. So make sure you grab it by clicking the link in the comments right now. Okay, so for me to show you how to go to bed earlier, I figured it's important for me to walk you through my evening routine. And truthfully, it's all about consistency. So I go to bed and I wake up at the exact same time, and this happens even on the weekends. So if you want to find out my morning routine and all about it, and the circadian rhythm, and even something called the infradian rhythm, I would highly suggest for you to check out my last video here on my YouTube channel, because you'll learn a lot and tie it all together. Okay, so full transparency, out of all the things that I've done for my hormones, nailing down proper sleep hygiene was probably the last thing that I implemented. And from what I've seen from a lot of the women that I've worked with, they're about in the same camp. So now I'm curious, if that's the same thing with you, let me know by dropping it in the comments below. Do you struggle kind of getting a sleep routine? Let me know. For me, I'd either work late and my excuse was, it's because I love what I do, or, but this is my only me time, when it was really because I have zero boundaries with my career and have problems asking for help because I'm a control freak, and then strangely I cry out like a total victim that it's all too much, but I'm in fact completely codependent with my career because it's where I gain validation, and I now recognize that I've also used it as a distraction from feeling my feelings. Yeah. If you're struggling hormonally, which I'm assuming that you are, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video, I can tell you that sleep hygiene is crucial. Otherwise, nothing will work. You will not get better, and you will literally crave everything in your fridge. Believe it or not, you will feel less full and more hungry when you're sleep deprived. On average, individuals ate 300 calories more in one study, gained 10 to 15 pounds in a year, and sweet and carb cravings increased by 40%. All right, so since my workday begins at around 7:30, 8 a.m., I actually finish work at around 1:30 in the afternoon. Now, you might be watching this thinking, wow, that's really amazing, Melissa, but the reality is I spent well over a decade probably pulling about 12 to 16-hour days until I realized that I wasn't actually being really efficient. So now I get done the same amount in way less time because I structure my workday. And I figured that for me to be able to show you my evening routine, that it's equally important for me to show you what comes before it because it impacts it. Before I close it down for the day, I write out tasks for the next day so I can hit the ground running when my brain is still waking up. Eric, Bodie, Pickles, and myself then jump into our truck and drive to one of my favorite 4-mile hiking routes. Getting out into nature, come rain or come shine, is probably one of my favorite things to do. And the reason why is because it helps to settle my nervous system. So normally around that 2 p.m. time, I would get this crash, but because I'm actually getting in a little bit of movement, it doesn't happen anymore. Okay, so I get you might be watching this video and thinking, well then this is totally unattainable. I have a 9-to-5 job, or I have children. You have no idea. So here is my point on this. Even when I lived in a city, we actually still went out. We went out, we got walks, even after eating. We took any opportunity that we could to get in as much movement as humanly possible because it helped us. So my point and my objective of this video is to inspire you to make a routine of your own, your evening routine, because frankly, I think most people are just simply living in a fight or flight state and just kind of passing through the days mindlessly. And that isn't helping your nervous system, nor is it helping your adrenals. Not convinced about your devices? Well, consistent EMF exposure can lead to longer recovery time from infections and being more susceptible to getting sick. This causes symptoms indicative of adrenal fatigue, such as fatigue and feeling weak. This causes the adrenals to secrete larger quantities of adrenaline and cortisol. A good evening routine will depend on how you're treating yourself leading up to it. The average American spends over 90% of their time indoors, often surrounded by bright artificial light that can make it harder to sleep. We generally like to eat the latest by 5 p.m. because I found that my sleep will actually be disrupted if I eat late at night. Melatonin, known to some as a sleep hormone, also helps to suppress insulin production, also known as our fat storage hormone. So I always suggest avoid eating within 2 to 3 hours before bed, otherwise you'll inhibit that melatonin production, leading to sleep problems, cravings, and increased fat storage. Then after we're done, we'll do a little 10-minute walk with the boys to help digest our food and get our steps in.
So how many steps did you get in?
12,038.
And your goal is?
15,000.
You gonna take the boys out tonight for me? Gotta get those steps in.
Okay, just for the record, I take out the boys in the morning. He does the night shift.
Not tonight, you don't.
Come on.
Gotta get those steps in.
This is when Eric will make the pull-out sofa and we curl up to watch about an hour of TV. And if you haven't noticed, I am wearing my blue blocker glasses. They are from Swanwick Sleep. Guys, behave. And these are my favorite blue blockers, and I wear them 90 minutes before bed. They help to block out blue and green light, so that way you don't have an interrupted sleep. So if you want your own pair of blue blockers from Swanwick Sleep, no matter what style you choose from, I've actually attached a discount code in the description of this video. It's important to get off all devices an hour before bed. Studies show that just 1 hour of nighttime reading on an iPad can delay melatonin release for up to 3 hours. Next, I'll brush my teeth and wash my face with olive oil, which I know sounds a little weird, but it's the best makeup remover, and I simply wipe it with a damp cloth. Then I'll sit in front of my Joovv light like I did in the morning for another 15 minutes. Exposing yourself to bright light might sound counterintuitive, but it's actually the blue and green lights that you want to avoid. In studies, red light actually was shown to increase melatonin status. Okay, so before I go to bed, I want to be able to answer a great question that I got on my YouTube channel from Jamon6, who asks, how do you manage having a different sleep schedule than your partner? Well, the answer to this is I broke that codependent habit. I don't want to be sacrificing myself and my sleep and my hormones to enable and appease my husband, or to even fool myself into thinking that really this is our only quality time, because honestly it's not quality time if we are just zoning out in front of the TV. Now, maybe you asked this question because you're like, how do you manage having a different sleep schedule with your partner, and maybe it's about not being woken up. If that maybe was your intention behind the question, I can tell you that there's 2 things that I swear by. Number 1, a night mask, which you'll see in a bit, helps me get into a much deeper sleep. And number 2, I love our sound machine. It is tiny but mighty, and you can understand where I get everything. I'm going to put everything in the description of this video. Then at around 7:30 p.m., I'll crawl into bed and generally read for a bit, and then afterwards I love to take in a good deep inhale of Serenity, which is one of my favorite sleepy time essential oils. Alright you, that is it for my evening routine. I hope that this video inspires you to create a routine that you love. Doing so will really help to reset your circadian rhythms, which is crucial if you have burnout, because we want to tell the body it's time to go to sleep versus being exposed to all these blue lights from our cell phones and eating late. Really not a good idea if you've got adrenal fatigue. So if you want to gain energy in as little as 7 days, then I want you to right now grab my free adrenal fatigue repair kit. That you can do so by clicking the link in the comments. And hey, if you love this video, do me a favor, go subscribe to my YouTube channel right now, give this a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it. And oh yeah, last tip, when you're going to bed, please make sure that your room is dark and cool. And if your room isn't dark, then make sure that you have one heck of a great night mask. All right, you guys, have a good night, and I'll see you later. Probably would help if I took off my hair tie, wouldn't it? All right, folks, now I'm going to bed. You're there somewhere.